Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of you. We would like to welcome you to the DesignNXT conference. I am Gabriela Moirano, partner of the design studio at Globant. Today, Pankaj will be the speaker for the Express DesignNXT conference. But first, we would like to introduce Globant with these two videos.
Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm leaving, but if you want to leave, then take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there, but just remember that a lot of bad everywhere. You know I've seen what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two. 'Cause I never want to see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl.
Reinvention moves the world forward, and that's what we do best.
Oh, baby, it's a wild world.
We are Globant, the company you probably don't know, behind many of the digital transformations you do know. Globant. Seek reinvention.
Across the world, companies have been challenged to remain in constant evolution, transform their culture and business models, rethink their customer experiences, and take advantage of new technologies such as artificial intelligence. Companies face the challenge to become augmented organizations. At Globant, we help pave the way towards this future. We work together with businesses around the world to define their way ahead and augment their capabilities to create new approaches for processes, products, and strategies. We create agile and resistant cultures where teams not only create change, but also adapt rapidly, creating exceptional experiences for millions of people. We walk along this road relying on our set of disruptors and accelerators, driven by artificial intelligence. All of this boosted by our system of studios and agile pods, operating units that foster creativity and innovation. We are a native digital company focused on helping organizations rethink themselves and find their way forward through digital and cognitive transformation. The future is now, and it belongs to augmented organizations.
Before we start, I would like to tell you a little bit about the design studio. At the studio, we are passionate about designing and building products and services with the user at the center of our work. We base the definition of our design on evidence of consumer behavior and observation of market trends, creating solutions that appeal both the users and the business. We are around 700 designers all around the world, and our three main practices are visual design, user experience design, and service design. Today, we are very happy to announce that we are back with our DesignNXT conference, which is a huge conference organized by the team in India. Last year, more than 700 people attended from all over the world. In this case, we are presenting an express avatar of the big event which will take place in November. This year, the topic is new realities, so be prepared for some amazing talks and workshops about virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed realities. So welcome all and enjoy. Over to you, Pankaj.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining today's conference. And as Gabby mentioned, let me quickly talk about myself. I am Pankaj Khametkar. I am a lead user experience designer at Globant. In Globant, I take care of the New Realities initiative in Design India. So before I quickly move ahead, just a short disclaimer that we have, since we are talking about new realities, so there would be a lot of images and videos that I would be showcasing. So those are strictly for reference purposes, and we do not claim any rights for it. So now jumping into the today's talk that we have, new realities, the new normal. So that's a really great thing, that I think that we are getting new realities. So and a new normal that we are talking about. So new normal is a more of a term that we got reintroduced to during the last 2 years due to the coronavirus. So if you see in terms of this pandemic that hit us, uh, it is what in terms of the pandemic, it has affected our lives. But if you see this new normal that we are living it, first of all, why it's said new normal, cause there's a lot of change in behavior, or the way we do things has changed as compared to how we used to do before. There's a change in the mindset that has happened because of it. It has been a difficult period, but also kind of a great period in terms of technology, wherein we moved in a very good way in terms of technology, wherein the things that we never imagined like we would be doing in a specific way, we started doing in during the COVID. And if I want to talk more in terms of this, so it has brought out a great change in us. And if you see in terms of the history that we have seen, so whenever there is change, human have the ability to adapt. And that's what of one of the great things that we have, like we adapt to different situations. And not just that, in terms of the technology also, if we have if you see from the past that is there, we have evolved from different mediums, like if we see in terms of a user that used to interact initially, we had only face to face conversation, or in terms of the information, we had the newspapers. But then there was as the technology jumped in, there were new and new inventions that came in. And that's when we initially saw radios that came in, wherein during that generation, if you see, radio had acted as a very great medium, wherein people used to specifically get linked to the radios, and they used to listen to it, get all the information. But as we moved further ahead in terms of technology and we advanced, we started progressing. We had televisions, then we had computers. And uh, and the one thing that primarily change everything is the internet. So once the internet was there, everything started coming together. So the world started connecting. And as we see the current set, or the current technology that we have is our personal computer, which are our phones. And in terms of when we talk about our phones, they are very personalized. We are using them daily and at every moment. And this is it helps us a lot in doing a lot of activities. So if you see in terms of this, from the past to current, the present that we are in, there is a lot of change in technology, where we have accepted the technology. And we have presented it in a way for everyone, so that they would be able to quickly get whatever they need and experience in a different way. And if we see in terms of this mediums, we have tried putting the information in different ways. Like we have for as a normal way, we have our screens wherein we try to display the information that is there. But one more technology that has been key here, and in terms of recent times, I would say, and people are experiencing it a lot, is new realities. So if we talk about new realities, so new realities, first of all, when we see this term, it always feels like it's some phrase from the future. And many people get confused in terms of when we talk new realities, what it is. But if I want to make it more simple for you guys, uh, so a new reality is basically a, a superset, or you can say an umbrella term for different realities that exist. So which are AR, VR, MR, which would be augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. And there is also one set which is extended reality, which is more of a combination of different realities coming together. So before I move ahead, I'll quickly take you through what this three realities, what they mean, so as to give that background. So if I talk about augmented reality, or AR, uh, what it basically does is it basically projects the objects that are there. In this case, what you're seeing is there is a shark that has been put in the environment. On the right side, there is an Android character that is being put in. So what happens in here is, there is a device, like we are seeing a mobile device is being used, through which we drop the element that is there in our environment, and as we place these objects in our environment, they become part of it. You can move around them, you can see it through different angles, and if there are any interactions that are put in, that could be seen like you are seeing currently for this. So this is where the objects come in our life. But against this, what we have is virtual reality. And if I want to quickly talk about virtual reality, as the word says, you are getting into a virtual world. So as you saw in this particular image, so as soon as the person wear the headset, he's transformed into a completely new world. In here, it is the golf course wherein he wants to play golf. So here we are completely transformed, or we are taken to a virtual world, getting disconnected from our own world and experiencing it through a complete immersion. The last one, if I want to talk about, is mixed reality. And in terms of mixed reality, here it's a very special headset that is being used. In the case of this example that we are seeing, it's the Microsoft HoloLens which is being used. So what happens in mixed reality? So mixed reality is actually a combination of both the good worlds. So the best of AR and the best of VR coming together. It's it's a technology which uses headsets, and through this headsets, what is basically happening is, since our hands are free, in case of AR we saw there is always a phone through which we are seeing, so there is a limited screen space, and we get to know that okay, anything outside that is not part of it. But in terms of mixed reality, since it is through that headset which is actually close to our eye, there is always there is a projection like the actual eyes seeing what is happening, instead of a barrier being there, which is in terms of a phone. Now, when I talk about all AR, VR, MR, and as I said, new realities is more of a futuristic term. That is what we always think about. But let me tell you, whatever we used to think, it is actually a past. It has become a past, and now, if I want to specifically show you through some examples, we have actually stepped into a future wherein this term is not no more a very term of a future, but has become a present for us. So if I want to quickly walk you through some of the example which I could tell you, first and foremost example would be what we have observed for last 2 years through the pandemic. We have done work from home, and there has been lot of conversations through online. And one of the things that we have tried out are the virtual backgrounds. Through virtual backgrounds, what we basically try doing is, we are trying basically anything that is in the background, because as we have seen, like were working in our house, and the backgrounds very different, wherein we wanted to portray something different. So this virtual backgrounds helped, and this is basically an AR tech. It is using the human recognition and eliminating anything that is besides it. So this is a really simple and a most commonly used AR tech that we use day to day life in making our calls. But beyond this, if there is also a lot of work that has been done and has redefined the way we shop. So using the air tech, what the lot of companies have innovated, and what they have tried doing in this example that you can see, the first example that is there. So what OnePlus has tried doing is, they have tried creating an AR experience wherein you can visualize how their televisions look exactly in your living space, or your space that you will be putting the television in. So here, with this experience, what happens is, now we are able to visualize it clearly, and in terms of our exact environment, how does this look as a whole. Is Does this look, is it my as in it solves the purpose of, am I making a right decision of buying this product, will this fit well, will this look well. So we are completely transforming it. And even in these next example we have is with the recent launch for the iPhone 14. They also launched an AR experience wherein you could see the photo. You can place it in front of you. You can move the phone and check how the actual phone looks, and get a AR feel of it. But not just that, if I want to talk about more specific, and one of the common things that specifically I think in India we are using is Lenskart. If you observe Lenskart, Lenskart has had got their this total experience of uh, trying on the 3D glasses, wherein what you do just do is you scan your face, and then it and you can choose with the n number of varieties that they have on their site. You can actually put on those glasses by selecting those, and it actually gives you a view of how would you look with it. So this totally eliminates a scenario wherein we are talking about, like, I have to go to the store, I have to check how this product looks, and then I will be able to buy. So there is a complete change that is happening, and the good thing is we are using it. We as users are very much using it, which is a success for this. And taking to another example, which I feel like we are so close and we are always using AR, is the filters, the face filters that is there. So if you have seen some in the pandemic or some past months, uh, the Disney face or some different face filters that are there, those were commonly used by everyone. So anytime you open Instagram, you were able to see that people had this filter. They were trying out how they look in different looks. And what basically is here is, like, we whenever we are talking in terms of technology and we are specializing it, we know this is more of AR tech. But the general public that is there, they use it as a normal experience, but they never realize that this is an AR tech. And we are actually so close to it and always using it in our daily life. I have some more quick examples that I would like you to take you through. Is um, recently we also saw there are lots and lots of vehicles that are coming in, and we have something called that head-up display or HUD, wherein many cars are trying to implement it, and it is very popular with the users. Wherein there's a small glass that pops out in front of you, and it displays important information like the speed, if there's navigation, lot of things. And it is very helpful because it's more of a way to remove the distractions that you have. So instead of looking for navigation on your infotainment system or on your phone, it is right in front of you. And it is for sure making that difference. Similarly, this what we saw are more of recent example. But if I think some of you have experienced this, wherein this is ear maps on the Nokia phones. Uh, so this is almost like 9 years old concept that they had got it, wherein they showcase the live AR maps. You can scan your environment and it will directly showcase you what is nearby and help you to find out. So this is some of the tech that is really really great and very useful for the users. But and one more example, if I want to quickly share, since I being the aviation geek, I had to add this example. Is This application is by Flight Radar 24. So if anyone has used this application, you know how seamlessly it tracks the flights, and not just show a normal data on a screen, but it actually tries to show uh, everything as a proper map based image. Or as you can see here, they also have the AR based solution for it, wherein what basically it does is, if you see any aeroplane that is passing by with the application's AR mode, you just point out to the sky, and it will show you which is the airplane that is going, and what from where to what is the destination. You can get all the details that is there. So this is like some of the amazing tech, and I will suggest do try it out. That is being done and which we are using on daily basis. So in terms of this AR tech we have seen, but there and as we saw, like last year was a huge boom when we saw Metaverse being launched. And when we talk about Metaverse is also not a term which or what is happening in this virtual world is no more a term or a experience that only limited people use. So if so we saw recently, or in the recent years, there were a lot of concerts in Metaverse. So on the top, if you can see, we had a concert from Daler Mehndi. from India, and below we have from Justin Bieber. So if, as I was mentioning, like it is not limited to some people. So if you see in terms of the statistics that are being mentioned for Daler Mehendi's concert, they said that there were around 20 million people. So that is a huge number. And when we talk about the gadgets are limited, but if you see it being a small percentage, but if you get those all numbers together, it is actually a huge number of 20 million kind of people actually using their headsets and getting into metaverse to view such things. And it is not and since concert and music we are talking more in terms of entertainment, it is not just in terms of metaverse the things has changed. In terms of the AR world, Disney has come up with their new movie wherein it is all AR based tech, and it is a first AR experience based movie. So to showcase that, I'll quickly run you through the small video which will showcase what exactly they have done.
For the first time ever, you'll be able to experience the future of storytelling in your own living room on Disney Plus. Experience remembering.
Okay, so as you saw, this movie is Remembering, and it is on Disney Plus in US. But what basically they have done with this tech is they have used marker-based AR, and what they are doing is using your television, which already has the image, tracking it, and then creating a whole experience that is there in front of your television in your space. So that is a great way of presenting a story and showcasing the tech that is there in terms of AR world. So it is really fascinating to see such solutions that we are getting in. But the next example that I am going to show you, I would be more than happy if a lot of you have experienced it or understood it. But it's really a great tech that we never realize that it happens. So this is the example wherein if you see, this is a cricket match, and if you see on the ground on the stadium, you have seen like there are a lot of ads that go on, or there are a lot of marketing branding that is going on. But on the ground, if we see on each side and on the field, there are this logos that are placed, and these logos are specifically to their brand partners, which you always see when a ball is being bowled or a batman hits a ball. So you would be surprised to know that in some of the matches, this logo that you're seeing is digital. It's not a real logo. It is totally mapped through the AR technology. So to further just prove it, I will just go to the next screen. So if you see in terms of this collage that I've got of different screen, uh, what you're seeing is, even if we see the batsman side of it or bowler side of it, we are always seeing the logo that is pointing towards us, that is the audience. So if you see in terms of, if it was a physical solution, it won't have been possible. So this is only made possible through tech. And through further prove you, I'll quickly showcase a small video wherein this is an old video where of around 9-10 years back, wherein the technology was still improving and it was more of in an initial stage, which will get you an idea of how the logo was placed. And
Ball
there's a
very
small
well,
glitch.
7.2 overs, just 1 for 20.
Okay, so if you have seen, there was a Tata Docomo logo that came in between, that was placed on the ground, and it vanished away in between. So this was specifically in this scenario, as the technology was in a very initial stage. We are seeing this glitch, but as I showcased the example before this, it is very seamless now. And if you talk about the next level of being seamless, I would like to show you this example, and this is for all the football fans.
You look at the amazing
NFL.
work we've done now with NHL in North America, or with La Liga in Spain, or Bundesliga now in Germany. You can really see the power and the ability of the Supernova technology and how it's changing those federations' ability to monetize their sport on a global scale and a very local, personable way. There is literally nothing else like it that will achieve what Supernaut technology does to the quality it does and is as commercially proven, as commercially deployed as the Supernaut technology.
Okay. So as you saw here, the perimeter LED boards that are there, this technology is so advanced that they have built it in such a way that the live stream directly converts whatever these boards are based on the geographical locations. So this is more in terms of monetizing, how we can do through the monetizing uh, that is done based on the advertisements. But it is not just that. What value it provides is, whenever a person from a country looks at it, they find out that these are very personalized ads for them, and that's what the companies want to do, like showcase very personalized ad that are specific to that countries. So if you see here, at least if in this three blocks, if you see, it's the same ad, but it is showcased in different languages, which is specific to that geographical location. And if we see at the first time, we would never accept it that this is actually happening, because it is so seamless that uh, our eyes say that okay, this is not possible to technology through technology. But that is what the reality is. And we have such techs that are so advanced, and as I said, we are already in that world, and we are doing it. But uh, as we talk about, these are more of the solutions that are, or the experience that everyone as a general public uh, can access and experience it. But there are also some more experiences that are done, like for example, this is an experience, or this is a technological development that is done uh, by by HoloLens and the US Army, wherein what they are trying is, they are trying to have headsets that would be given to the army men. And whenever they currently it is shown in terms of training, but they would be actually wearing this headset, and what they'll get is, they'll get the live data or very important information that is required. So if I want to explain one scenario, so in terms of the navigation, if they want to see, they have a separate screen that is being kept, and they always view that and move ahead. But if this tech gets ahead, it's a such a wonderful tech, like which will help uh, everyone from the army. So that's the great tech and different examples that we have. And and what we are seeing is, the different examples that we have is, there is in terms of the gender example, we are seeing that it is making a lot of difference for the user and making a huge impact. But it is always also true in terms of virtual tech. So there is a quick line, a beautiful line that is mentioned by Meta in one of their recent videos, wherein they say that metaverse may be virtual, but the impact is real. And now this is a very strong statement, wherein uh, they are saying that the experience is so great that even if we are getting into that virtual world, it makes it so amazing experience that we start feeling it real, and it makes overall impact on us, and what things that are happening overall. And that is true also in terms of the gadgets that work together with it. So in terms of again, one of the recent videos that was done by MKBHD, in terms of the dope tech, we saw that he showcased the sense gloves. And in terms of sense gloves, he mentioned this stuff makes sense mentally now, but is going to be very cool sometimes in the future. So for me, makes sense mentally now is a really great statement that is made here. Because as we see, we were talking about the technology, wherein we were saying that okay, this is a technology of future, and we are just seeing experiments that are being done. And but through this statement, we see that people have started to understand, our these experts who are trying out these products, they themselves are saying this makes sense now, and we will for sure see something that is coming in the future, that will be super cool, and everyone will be using it and experiencing it. But when we talk about this experience is making sense now, if we see overall in terms of this text that are coming in, there are lots and lots of people who are innovating on this tech. We have lots and lots of work that is done in technology, that is being done in terms of design, and we are shaping the experience in a great way. So when I talk about this, so we when we talk about we as designers, we also have to scale up, wherein we have to start thinking in terms of how we can work on this tech, how we can visualize these things, and not just being on the other side where we are experiencing it, but also be part of the creation journey, and and through which what we'll start getting an experience regarding it. So in similar terms, what uh, through this learning journey, we have also been part of one of the project wherein we have tried doing some things. And what I would like to do now is showcase this project to you, and more of talk about what we did there, and what as a designer we need. So I'll quickly take you to the small demo that we have. So here the application that we created was a maintenance based application, and which was a mixed reality application using the Microsoft HoloLens. Now when we talk about different gadgets, like in terms of this Microsoft HoloLens, we have always have tried to learn different things that are done in this different mediums. So as we have learned in terms of design, we have always seen that when the mobile applications came in, uh, we learned about how those applications would be built, what are the design principles over there, and we also learned about the guidelines that are there, like in terms of iOS or Android, how the things, how the application navigation would be, how the system would be, how the flows would be. Some we always learn in terms of guidelines. Now as we are talking about this new tech is also coming in, so we as designers, we'll also have to scale up, and we'll also have to learn some new things in terms of, as here it could be the guidelines that are required in terms of the HoloLens, wherein we try to understand what are the navigation patterns, what are the interaction patterns, and not just that, how are the screen visualized or how the environment is, because this is all 3D space that is there. We are no more limited to the flat 2D screen. It is all a complete 3D space. So if you see here, we have just laid out a screen wherein from where the application could be launched. And once I launch the application, that's when I open up the application and I enter the application, which is for the maintenance. So if you see here, one of the things that we are doing is the background is being changed based on where the user is. And here the context is very important, because as we are mentioning, everything is happening in this 3D space. So the context becomes very important, because the user is moving in that environment. And when, as a designer, if we want to put out our thoughts in a right way, and we want it to be created in the exact same way, we have to be very specific, because in 3D the imagination of each person will depend. So if you see here, what we have done is basically, as we are talking about the HoloLens, so we have kept, as you can see, the left part is completely empty, and on the right part, slight right part, we have tried giving the screen, so which makes it more clear for the user, like if they want to work, the field of view which they are viewing state is more of clear. And if they just move their eyes on the left, or in some cases, if there is application we can also place on the right, they can just view those quick guidelines that are required, and then continue the work that is there in the front. And uh, and uh, and what we have also done is, since we are talking about, there would be more details that we would need to be transformed, or we needs to be shared with the user. We'll also have to collaborate with different teams, and in terms of that different teams, we have to pass on the knowledge, or as I said, the information, how the things needs to be created. So for here, we have tried of showing an example where we are adjusting the robotic arm, and through so if we think in terms of a general approach, we would always think that I would need to have that 3D model. I will render that 3D model, create a GIF out of it, and then place it. But what we have tried doing it with the quick method is try using the shape and the pen tool itself, and creating those shapes that are required. And we have great tools like XD, Figma, which let us use the smart animation feature, which actually let us create such animations wherein you just try adjusting the movements. So similarly, we tried doing it for a lot of different steps, uh, as you can see here, and which made it more, or it made us easy for us to pass on the idea that we had as a designer, wherein we said that okay, this is what we need to showcase as a 3D model that could be rendered. Because this looks fine in terms of idea, but I will say that a crisp or a more refined version would be where we could place the 3D model. And that is one of the skill that we would have to develop. As we see in terms of the current, whenever we are creating a website, we always have an idea of what is possible when with the website. Similarly is the case with here, wherein we also have to understand in terms of this new tech, where what are the limitations or what are the possibilities. And this is one of the good ways we can showcase how we our ideas that are there. And and if I want to quickly show you the file that we have for this, so if you see here, what we have tried doing is, as I said, we tried creating the line based diagrams before, and we had for different scenarios that we wanted to showcase. And what we basically did here in terms of the quick prototyping is, we got that object, and at each step we just adjusted the robotic arm in a different position, and the smart animation did its work, and that's how you are seeing it so seamless. So this is more of a tech related things, or in terms of design, the different guidelines or different things that we have to learn. uh, and one another thing that we are also experimenting and we are trying to do is, one more thing is, when we want to showcase our ideas in more of a refined stage. So it could be done wherein I have also seen many people in the industry are doing it, wherein what they are trying to do is they actually capture a blank video and they try to place the objects in here. So to quickly showcase, we as a team have created this, we are doing out trials on it, wherein what we are tried doing is, we recorded a blank video. Blank video means it's a normal video that we choose, which where we want to place the object. And through then we have used different tools. We are using Blender, we are using After Effects to place this barrel. So if you actually see this barrel that you are seeing, this is not actual, this is an ER base. So let me quickly play that video, what we have created. So if you see, we are actually moving the camera a bit around, showcasing that a person is moving. But what we were basically trying it out is if the object could be stationed at a specific place. So these are more of the trials and experimentations that we would have to do in this particular space, because as I said, this is more of a 3D environment, and visualizing a 3D environment is a key here. And that's what will visualizing and upscaling our scales in terms of uh, not just presenting the ideas that you saw in the prototype that I just showed for, but also in terms of this quick videos would always help the users. So with this, we will for sure move and upscale. But what we are doing is we are trying kind of creating what we have a vision as a future, we are trying to get it as reality. But if I want to specifically talk about the future, and the future is with endless possibilities. And if I want to think about, in terms of, if I want to talk what I think metaverse is, I think metaverse is this. So this is a scene from movie Matrix, you would have realized. And what basically is happening here is, there's a plug that is being kind of put in, and once that has been done, a new is being transformed into a completely new world. So for me, what is being shown here, the new world is actually metaverse. So if you ask me in terms of uh, the Matrix movie, whatever other things than what we are seeing, the is being shown on the chair they are sitting, everything else I would say is a metaverse. And that could be a reality, we would never know. With this, I would, with again using a movie reference, what I think could be our future is, uh, I will depict it through this scene. Uh, if you would have seen this scene particularly from the movie Demolition Man, it's a movie from 1993. Uh, it's a very interesting scene. I won't go into details of what the scene is about, but in this scene, what is basically, if you can see, the both of them have some gadget that has been put. So if you see, there's a kind of a gadget that has been put on the head, and so as you can see it here. So what basically they have tried showing is, uh, in terms of the different experience that we have, we always thought that we always need to see it, we need to visualize it, and then we'll be able to experience it. But this gadget they have tried showing us, this is a totally new gadget, very futuristic, wherein it directly controls your brain, or it's sending signals to your neurals, wherein you don't even need to visualize anything. All those signals are directly sent into your brain, and instead of you seeing it through your real eyes, all those signals are directly sent into your brain, and that brain is processing everything for you. So this is some of the very high tech things, and we never know that this could also be a reality. So with that, that's what all I have for today. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Gabby.
Thank you, Pankaj. Very interesting what you told us. Thank you all for attending today, and we look forward to see you all in the big event in November of this year. Thank you all. Bye bye.